Welcome! In this video we will review the 4 vocabulary words for the legislative branch. This is on slides 5 and 6 of your hyperdoc. We'll begin with the word approve. The definition is officially agree to or accept as satisfactory. To say yes to something, to approve it. Congress has to approve things that the executive branch does, such as Supreme Court nominations. So the president may nominate somebody to serve on the Supreme Court, but that person has to be approved by Congress. The president may nominate somebody to serve on his cabinet, but that person has to be approved by Congress. So your sentence is a complex one that shows the definition. Mr. Kelly did not serve on the Supreme Court because he was not approved by Congress. I'm using the word approve there to show the definition. In order, this is a second sentence if you, a non-legislative branch sentence, in order to give you a better idea of it. We use the word approve all the time in everyday life. In order to go over to my friend's house, my parents needed to approve my request. All right, they needed to say yes to it. And then come up with a visual, something that represents yes, or to accept something. We'll move on now to the next word, bicameral. And if there is such a thing as a legislative branch vocabulary word, it is bicameral. Because I really only see the word bicameral used for the legislative branch. It means a two-house legislature. And in the word bicameral, we have the prefix bi, which means two, as in bicycle, having two cycles, two wheels. Taking a look at the U.S. Capitol, you may or may not notice that the two distinct sides are actually two different chambers, and they are the two houses of Congress. On the left, facing the front, on the left is the Senate, on the right is the House of Representatives. Our Congress is bicameral. So my sentence is going to be a legislative branch sentence. The U.S. Congress is bicameral because it has a Senate and a House of Representatives. Maybe you go the opposite. You say the country's Congress was not bicameral because it only had one house. Let's go on to slide 6 and the word bill. Also a heavy legislative branch word. Bill can have many meanings, but for our purposes in the legislative branch, a bill is a draft of a law presented to a legislature. Think about it as a rough draft of a law. Before it actually becomes a law, it's called a bill. And not all bills become laws, so it is a draft. It may, along the lines, it could even get thrown out altogether as it's being presented. A bill. So maybe your complex sentence is the Congresswoman wrote a bill in order to create more safety for people in wheelchairs. Making something up here. The bill here is what's creating the safety. Didn't really get the part about the bill possibly becoming a law, but that shows in part the definition of the word there. And don't forget your visual. All right, and we come on to our last word, which is veto. And veto means to reject something or say no to a bill from the legislative branch. So the legislative branch might create a bill. They really like it. They want it to become a law. But maybe the president says, nope, I don't agree with it. I don't think it's a good idea. And so he rejects it. He vetoes it. He vetoes the bill so that it cannot become a law. So my sentence will be, the president vetoed, we'll make it past tense, vetoed the bill from Congress because she did not agree with it. All right, now you could use the word veto as in, I asked my parents if I could go to my friend's house, but they vetoed my proposal. Most people don't use the word veto in everyday life, but you should. It's a strong word. It's got a strong meaning there. So veto, to say no to, and then come up with a visual that somehow means to reject or say no to. As always, if you have any questions, send me an email, and I'll see you live online during our scheduled meeting time this week.